Good morning. Good morning, everyone. It's Ottawa speaking, and I'm sitting in the comfort of my home in the area is called Beacon Hill. North in Ottawa, it's about 20 minutes drive from Parliament and about 20 minutes on a kayak across the Ottawa River to Gatineau side. So I do follow the news both on Gatineau side and meaning Quebec side and Ontario side. So again, my name is Dmitry Gorodnichi. I am the research scientist with the Canada Border Services Agency and also the adjunct professor at the University of Ottawa, Computer Science Department and Math and Stats Department. So here I'm using this opportunity to interact with you, to share some of my ideas, skills on what you could do possibly for yourself using R and actually computing science skills. In fact, I call this course or sessions R101, but I think I should rename it to Computing 101. In fact, when I was a grad student at the University of Alberta in the Computing Science Department, by the way, it was called Computing Science, not Computer Science. And computing is actually doing some processing on data. So the term data science is a very recent term. Before that, people were using computing. So computing is really how we build programs for computer, which will help us to do our job. So data science, to my understanding, if it's you who is doing all the job, like you browse this data, you decide what is the best, what is the worst risk, or what is the prediction, then it's you who is doing data science. But when it is computer who is helping you to find, the most dangerous places, let's say in Ontario, or which is predicting you or helping you to prepare for tomorrow. If it's computer who is helping you, then I think it's actually called computer science. It's not data science. And you see, that's why I think this is where I can bring some of my own computer science experience into and to share it with all of you. Because actually, this is a very good point. Because in fact, I think I'm the only one in my agency who has a PhD in computing science in CBSA. There are many people around me with PhD in physics, chemistry, biochemistry, and we do need those people because there is lots of contraband and items crossing the border, and we do need this technical skill, people who really understand chemistry and physics. But really, I never touched any of anything. I just work with my thoughts and the computer, and I'm trying to build something with the computer which will help anyone. So, and this is what is called computing science. This is what we're trying to teach you here. So I will be not only talking about R, but I will be also talking about computing science. So what I was going to say, in 2000, actually, I was a course coordinator and instructor for the course, which was called Computing 101, Introduction to Computing Science, Introduction to Computing Science for Humanities. It means for people with no technical background, it's Computing 101. And many of them, it was a mandatory course. And they were coming like, I hate computers. I am so scared of this, this computer stuff. Anytime I press something, it just crashes and I don't know what to do. And, my idea here is really to show that computing science is a type of skill to program, essentially to teach computer to do something what you are doing yourself. So for example, today you are asking your question, can I go outside or not? Is it dangerous to go for me outside? Is the COVID continues to spread, or is it already decelerating? So, and essentially, this is what I'm trying to build. I'm building a computer program which is helping you to answer this question. And I don't think I have seen any other dashboard or anywhere yet, which actually is helping you to make decisions. Because most dashboards, they just show totals, averages per province, and you don't know, okay, what about my own town? What about, let's say tomorrow, is it going to be bad, or is it going to be worse, or is it going to be better? So that was my segue introduction into background, and let's start sharing the screen. So I'll start sharing the screen, and okay, here it is. Now, okay. Now, you should be able to see my screen. And in fact, you would see uh, I had a post, my very first post in my life on Radio-Canada over the weekend. S'il vous plaît, voir les nouvelles apps web sur coronavirus qui calculent dynamique de propagation de pandémie dans chaque région du Québec. So the point is, so the speed acceleration of the pandemic in one area, in one region, in Montérégie, was actually increasing daily. So it's still accelerating. When in all other areas, regions within country, most of them, pandemic was going down, you could see that in Montérégie, it was going up. And I was like, do they know about it? Do they know that they need to talk to those people residents in Montérégie and tell them just for 2 weeks, 14 days, just lock yourself, do nothing, and wait until it starts going down. So I was able to see it with my app, and that's the app which I was showing you last time. Remember, last time I completely redesigned the app so it's on a local level, and it shows you where it goes up and down. When it goes at the speed, whether it's accelerating. If it goes up, it's bad. Stay home. If it goes down, okay, good. So you can wait for a few more days and you can go out. So I think this is where computers are helping us to better to deal with the pandemic, with the crisis. So, and when I did this picture last time, I saw that in Montérégie it was going up. So I thought, okay, let me just send the post to Radio-Canada, and that's what I did. And actually, they were very kind. They replied right away to me, saying, please actually submit, thank you for your post. Please partager les nouvelles avec le centre d'info. And actually, I was just going to do that, perhaps after we finish this discussion. Indeed, that's a type of knowledge which you can extract from data. The data is available. In fact, you remember last time when we opened a line, it's called F-read. It opens a line, one line reads you all the data about Canada and US, but you know nothing about it in the beginning. You even don't know what the columns are. So that's again where we were last week when I showed that with some skill of visualizing, you can see in which regions it goes up and which regions it goes down, the speed, right? So, and then we started coding. So now let's start coding. I will move, now I'll start, really, I want to start from where many of you are studying, I think. Okay, so that's, and again, my objective here is to teach you something, assuming you know nothing about programming. You know nothing about R. You are like my students back in 2000 who are studying education, history, and who are essentially forced to take computer science course. And then trying to ease your pain and maybe actually to start liking it. So, because indeed, many of those things are not very difficult once you sort of get the idea. Now, I can say that I'm not a programmer. In fact, when I say to my neighbors that I studied in computer science, many of them assume I'm a good programmer. Actually, I even type very slowly, and there are many programmers who are much better programmers. And what they teach right now in the colleges and the universities in terms of programming is much better than what I do. Now, what I have studied for 5 years in University of Alberta, and for 5 years before that in Moscow and Kiev, is called, okay, science of writing programs for computers. So this is what I'd like to teach you. I suggest this will be our starting page every time. You open 3 tabs. One is called R Auto Portal. One is called RStudio, And you see, you just need to click here, login. So when you click login, it will ask you to log in with your Google, or you can create a GitHub account. I do encourage you to create an account in GitHub, because that's where you can store not only your codes, but any good ideas, any good projects, and you can share them and allow people to contribute, right? And I also would like to you to open this iTrack code, because that shows you what you can do starting with a single line. Last time we just opened one line and we knew nothing about the data, and then gradually, step by step, we would see what columns are there. How can we make some, get some meaning out of the data, and how we can help ourselves to make decisions with that data. So I hope you're already there. Now I will go to where we left last time. You should already log in into your RStudio Cloud. Okay, now, once you log into your RStudio Cloud, you'll see something like that. Now, one thing you will see here, and I've added a link to our R101 page. There are many tutorials, and in fact, there are tutorials on dashboard, and I will open one of them right here. Then in here in our portal, also I will add all those tutorials right here. So, for example, in resources, you would see I have added sites for beginners, and you can just go there, and these are ready to compile codes, and you can compile them, just cut and paste from that site into your RStudio Cloud site. When you copy it, it will appear here. So last time we have created with you a new project, and we call it R101. If you don't have it yet, you would say new project, and then it will create Untitled. And in fact, I'm going to do it right now. I need to watch my time, because many of you are just starting, right? So that's where you are right now. We click new project. And while it's preparing in resources, let's go to a directory where we keep codes. So all the codes I'm writing, I will be putting them in this directory. And currently I have already 2 files there. And we'll cut and paste files, data from here into RStudio Cloud. Okay, it takes time. Okay, so you see, that's where you are right now. Wonderful. Now you do the following step: new file, RScript. Okay, I need to apologize. It opened another dashboard workspace. So I will go back to my.
Sorry, where did you get to that the GitHub page?
Okay, so GitHub page is from our Ottawa portal. I will go back.
Yeah, in the Ottawa portal. Yeah,
that's right. So all codes I will be archiving here in R101.
Oh, okay, okay.
So I will open it as in a new tab.
Yeah, okay, that would be a good idea.
Okay, that's good. That's a good point. So we will keep the portal open, but we will also have code. So all codes are here. So now I will open a code which opens. That's the code which we have started last time. And this code, actually, last time we have just run this line. And then we looked into the names of a variable. And then we did a little magic there, which was called melt. And we'll do it again today.
Okay.
But again, in the beginning, you know nothing about this file. So you need to know the names of the variables. You need to know how many, and .end tells you how many lines. And we will do it right now. Now, to save time, I will go back into the project which we have created last time, because I do see it takes time to create a new project every time. So you see it opens up. So when you start, it will do something like that. It will be opening a new project, and you will need to give a name like R101. And then you will need to create a new file, new R script. So I will just go already to the project which we have created last time. And you should be able to do it the same way.
Okay, so now after you've created the new file.
Yes. Okay, so new file, you created, you go file, new file, R script.
R script, okay.
Yeah, and in fact, I may try to open, it would be nice if I can open in both tabs. I will have in one of them, I will have brand new project. Just, that's where you are.
Okay.
And in another one, I will have my project.
Okay.
So I think, so this is where you are. And in the beginning, you just created a new untitled project, and it has nothing. It should have nothing.
Yeah.
And our first session was really spent to get you familiar with the environment.
Right.
On the right bottom part, you'll see files. It shows you the files which you currently have in your folder. And it's beautiful because it's all remotely. It's somewhere archived, I don't know, in the US, this cloud, I don't know where it is. But you see, it has no project right now, or no file. So so I think that's where you should be. That's where you should be.
That's where I am right now.
Okay, wonderful, wonderful. So you see the version of R, for example, here. And that's where you would normally be when you just open. Now, okay, next step, file, new file, R script.
Yeah.
And let's give a name right away so we have the same file name. We'll save it as 01 read read. That's what you do. And now you see a new file has appeared here, and it's in here where you will copy. Now look, I'm just highlighting the entire code, but in fact I do not like the idea of highlighting of pasting everything. I do like the idea of just taking one line at a time.
Okay.
You know, because you will get overwhelmed. So that's what we have done in our first session. You would always go just one line at a time. What did it do? Oh, it opened. I see what happened. It so you do just like that. So one line at a time. So let's do that, because otherwise you can get slightly overwhelmed.
Okay.
I suggest people who missed our first session, now I'm posting it on YouTube, and you will be able to see exactly how we're doing it step by step. So I'm going back now to my project here, and last time we have done. Okay, that's the line we did last time. It was reading data, some data. Now, this time what I have done, I copied all the files, and actually what I will do, I will clean my space here. There is a little symbol here which allows me to clean the environment. And that will be, okay, I will be going back and forth between different windows. So look, you would need to install these libraries, and that's what we have done in our first session. In fact, the system is very smart. When you try to run this line by yourself, it will tell you the library is missing.
Yeah, it does say something unmatched.
That's right. So let's okay, let's see where you are right now. So if you do this, it will run and say, okay, I couldn't find a function f-read. And that's where you would need to add these libraries. So,
okay.
Because indeed many libraries have been written, and f-read is one of them. Now, f-read is, I say, it's your best first friend. I think it's really, that's how we should start teaching computer science, and there are data table. So to run a line, you control enter. And it says no package. Okay, that's what we have done in our very first session. We installed it. So we have to install a package. You go to tools, install package, and you say in here, library, data table. And it will show you, in fact, all libraries which are available there. And now it will install it. It takes some time, but you see it's doing the job. It is installing the package. But you'll need to install all other packages as well there. Now, let me continue with my introduction here, or with my presentation. One thing which I may suggest: 40 minutes is not enough, and I know there are a couple of colleagues of mine really who are very, would like to move on and let's start actually building something already which is functional. And in fact, I have provided already codes which are fully functional. So if you would like just to run yourself, you can copy those files, this read file, and another file, RMD. And again, just watch my first session. I create two files. One is called RScript, the other one is called RMarkdown. So RMarkdown becomes your dashboard or becomes your report. Now, these two files are ready to run. Now, what I suggest, I'm very flexible during my lunchtime. And if you, ladies and gentlemen, are very much interested, in doing it more than once a week, I would gladly do that. So for example, we can continue just on Friday, let's say this coming Friday at the same time, and we will just continue it so it's easy for you to follow me, right? Because indeed, these two files are ready. You can just copy them from here to this brand new project. But again, if you are not with us during our first two sessions, you would get some challenges. And I don't want you to get scared away or intimidated with those methods. So let's just pass this first sort of block, and then it will become easy. So today, what I still would like to do is the following. I will go just line by line, the code which is here, and then maybe on Friday, again, just please send me email or leave a comment on a chat. And by the way, anyone who is watching it on YouTube, because we're recording it, again, don't hesitate to contact me by email, which is on our Ottawa portal, or just write a comment on YouTube. And I will try to really to help you to pass this challenging stage. So you're comfortable opening RStudio.cloud and writing your first code. So I'm watching my time. I have about 8 minutes. And so that's what I will be doing. Last time, I have also emphasized the importance of writing in blocks. So the first principle, one line at a time. You just copy one line and you try to execute it, Control Enter, Control Enter. Then once you have a bunch of codes, lines, you group them. For example, here I group them with the if statement. If true, meaning always. So run the entire pack. And that's very, very nice. So I put my cursor there and Control Enter, boom, and watch what is happening there at the bottom screen. It tells me there is a little lag there. So let me try it again. So you put a cursor. Okay. Now the cursor is there. Okay. Now Control Enter. And what is happening here? You see on the bottom side the lines which are executed. And it's very good to understand what actually this window shows you. This window has 4 panels. The panel on the right bottom side shows you the files which you currently have there. Now here you would see on the right top side, you see your variables which are currently there. Currently we don't have any variables. Now we will execute one line and we'll create one variable. Boom. It's a simple example. You assigned it's called a value combined into a variable called total. And you see the codes which I am using are exactly the codes which are in my iTrack COVID app. And you will understand why we need to do that later. Now, here I have another function. Now, instead of if, I have a function. So I group together a bunch of lines which we have executed last time. Now, what I suggest, we will just run these lines one at a time. I put it here, Control Enter. Look what is happening. It downloads file. Now, this file is a geographical data. In the beginning, you know nothing about this file, and the best way to visualize it, you visualize a few lines. So this line shows first and third row of my line of the data. Sorry. If you want to show lines from 1 to 5, you do it using the column sign. Let's say. So that's how you can gently start visualizing the data. Right? Now, I have also mentioned about the importance of having a table of content. You see, I can easily jump within my code because your code will keep growing. And I don't want you to get again lost. It's very important you never get lost in your code. You know exactly where are the portions of your code. So I have a portion called general libraries. Then I have a portion called my functions. And then I have a portion later where we will be testing, essentially running those functions. Look, I click here on test me, and we will be running those functions. And when you can run them, it means later you can go into your R Markdown file, and you can run those functions there as well. So, and we'll get there. Let's go back now to reading geographical data. So now we have idea on what the data is. We know the names of the variables. Let's again look what they are. So this line shows me the last line. .n means the last line. And now I know the name variables. Okay, I am starting to get a better picture of my data. So I don't need these data, which color. So I will remove them. And that's a line you can do it. So I'm removing them here. And I will be given different names. So now my data looks better. It's simpler. It's exactly what I need. Now I will also change the state, because you see some of them are blanks, but instead I want them to be called combined, because really the meaning is it's aggregated data. In my app, this will be aggregated data. And now you can visualize how it looks. So this will be called combined. Nice, right? And then you can also reorder columns. Okay, so your first function is written. Now you tested all your lines, they are working. Now you can run the entire function. I put my cursor there and Control Enter. Look, team, culture, done. So this function now, in fact, in environment, you would see it shows me I have a function there. Look, I have a function. So I can go and test me, and now I can run it. I can run it. So let's run it. I run it, and now I can view a state. Let's say state. Okay, now I have much better picture. I know how many cities are in there. And I would like to check, let's say, for New York City. And then I found a good point. There is no city in New York because New York City is actually is called New York City there. And this is how you would like to. This is how you access a particular column. You see, I'd like to show. I'm asking computer, show me all cities within the state of New York. And this is how it shows me. And it shows me that New York, where is New York there? You see, it's called New York City. It's a very typical situation. So we need to correct it. We are searching for city, New York City, and we are making it New York. Becomes later, we will need to merge it, right? So again, this is a very, very important information. Now, if you understood how I did this, you will be able to do the same with the read COVID US file. So your homework assignment will be to run line by line, read COVID US file, make sure it compiles, and then now if it compiles, you can run the function and you will have two functions. And now you can get, let's say, the date when the last date when it was updated. So thank you very much. Please, everyone, stay safe, stay healthy, be active, be creative. Don't hesitate to contact me again. Please let me know if you have any questions. Again, if there is interest, we can just continue on Friday at the same time. And again, I will put it on YouTube. Make your comments, ask questions. I hope you will get gently more relaxed with this environment and not overwhelmed. And it's very important you keep the structure of your code here so you understand what is happening here. And you see, I already developed a structure myself here. Sometimes you would like to have a structure first, and later you would start filling. For example, later what I will be doing, I will be merging geographical data with the stats data. So what I do here, I read data from Johns Hopkins University. Then it's called, I assign it to a variable called DTUS. Then I visualize it with a New York example. It's always good to have a practical example. Every time you open data, just to try to play it with some data. Last time I used Ottawa, I used Ontario, close home, right? Ontario, Gatineau, or Quebec. Try New York. By the way, New York situation is very, very sad and bad. Last time when we started opening it, it showed more than 200,000 cases infected every day. So more than 20,000 people are dying in New York. So again, I'm so sad about that, and it's very important to contain the situation so nothing like that happens in Montreal or Toronto where people are close to each other. It's very important we spread this information, not the pandemic, but we spread the information, right? So we isolate the areas where a pandemic accelerates, we log them, and in other areas, people can start going out, can start really socializing more, but carefully. So again, New York situation is very bad. And in fact, then later, I look in other places in United States, and we will do that. So you can just do little tests there. And I have examples in my code. Just run